The song of the hollow man sing, O muses, of the heavy silence that falls, not on the battlefield where clashing steel rings, but on the quiet house where the spirit palls, and the sorrow that a broken heart brings. Tell of the journey through the valley of shade, of the hero who fought not with sword or with spear, but with memories fading and promises betrayed, and the phantom weight of a love held dear. He stood in the center of the marble floor, where the dust motes danced in a shaft of sun, a king of nothing, ruling an empty shore, his reign of solitude now begun. Gone was the laughter that rang from the hall, gone was the fire that banished the night, gone the swift footstep at the end of the call, leaving him alone with the fading light. She was the star by which he had steered, the anchor deep in the storm-tossed sea, but the cord was cut, and the vessel veered, and the vast, cold ocean stared back at he. First came the fury of the raging red, the fire that burns in the belly of grief. He cursed the high heavens and wished he were dead, seeking a tyrant, a villain, a thief. Why have you taken the breath from her long? Why does the world still turn and spin? My tongue is a stone, and my song is unsung, drowning in sorrow, outside and in. He shattered the mirrors, he threw down the cup, he railed at the wind, he challenged the fates, but the silence remained. An arrow struck up through the heart of his hope at the iron gates. Then came the ice of the winter of white, when the anger froze into a desolate plain. He sat in the darkness, a statue of blight, numb to the sun and numb to the rain. The world was a stage without players or lines, a pageant of shadows, a hollow parade. He counted the hours like jagged designs in the fortress of silence that he had made. He walked through the city, a ghost among men, seeing the colors but feeling the gray. Bring her back, he whispered again and again, to the gods who had turned their faces away. Then came the monster, the beast of regret, with scales of the past and eyes of remorse. It whispered of things he could not forget, diverting his soul from its heavenly course. Did you love her enough? Did you say it aloud? Did you hold her hand when the winter winds blew? You are buried in guilt, like a man in a shroud, and the fault, broken man, belongs only to you. He wrestled the beast in the deep of the night, in the labyrinth of sleep where the dreamers are bound. But the monster was quick and the monster was right, and he fell to the earth with a terrible sound. But lo, in the depth of that terrible fall, when the last of his strength had ebbed from his breast, he heard not a trumpet, he heard not a call, but the rhythm of life put finally to rest. He looked at the ruins, the scattered debris, the shattered illusions, the anger, the fear, and he saw that his grief was a cavernous sea, but the water was deep and the water was clear. He rose from the dust, not a conqueror, king, but a traveler weary who has weathered the storm. He found that the loss was a terrible thing, but the love that remained was a transform. He picked up a fragment, a memory bright, a moment of laughter, a whisper of grace, and held it up high in the gathering night, a lamp to illuminate time and space. Not the fullness of presence, nor touch of the hand, but a ghost in the hallway, a warmth in the cold. He walked from the castle across the dark land, carrying the story that had to be told. For grief is not death, nor the end of the road, but the price of the love that the heart holds fast. A heavy and exquisite and sorrowful load, a bond that endures while the shadows are cast. So the hero walked on, under starlight and moon, through the valley of shadows, through wind and through rain. He carried the memory, a silent rune, knowing he would see his beloved again, not in the flesh, nor the touch of the skin, but in the light of the dawn and the breath of the air. The epic of loss is the war we win, by learning to live with the spirit still there.